Keegan Gerhardt, myself, Greg Hollenbach, and Jay Parker, and we're just showing it to you. This is a Friday where this dining room would be packed, Chef. We're right.
Would be normally on a Friday.
Yep. Coming right. The lunch rush would be out of here, and you'd be regrouping. And
what time is it? 2 o'clock?
Past 2 o'clock, right?
Yeah. Getting ready for happy hour. But we're currently have a business that is 100% dependent upon the weather. So
it's a small business here. We're just showing it to you, folks. The two things that we've been trying to tell you is we're just going crazy is that positivity narrative. And if we don't have it, I don't know what else we can do. But safer at restaurants. Look around. Again, just showing you. These are the professionals. Also business equality. There's no reason why there shouldn't be people in here socially distanced, have their masks on. We know the protocol. We know the drill. Your dining room's closed right now. We're going to look around, though. We're going to catch up with you and catching up with Chef Keegan Gerhardt right now. What are you seeing out there right now? How are you feeling? What's the overall temperature with you?
It's a strange kind of holidays. At the end of the day, I think I have to be grateful for the business that we have because we're known for desserts, and definitely the holidays are a celebratory kind of time. So there's cakes and cookies, and there's a lot of specialty things. I don't know how a place that doesn't have that kind of specialization is making it right now, unless they're already a to-go concept, like a pizza or Chinese or something like that. Mm-hmm. Las Delicias has been around. They're right across the street. They've been around forever. I gauge a lot by what they do. That store's been there since 1976. They've updated it several times. But as soon as they shut down dining rooms, they pretty much decided we're not doing it. We're just going to do to-go. So, everybody on Modern Eater, I'm sure, understands the finances of a restaurant. Mm-hmm. If you're lucky to bring 4 to 10% to the bottom line, you can't operate with a 25% dining room. You can't certainly operate with no dining room. Mm-hmm. So you're relying on the PPP money that you got earlier in the year, or you're relying on savings, or I don't know. Most independent restaurants that I know of don't have a lot of savings. So for us, we're trying to make it happen with the leadership team. We're committed in the beginning of this, back in March, to remain faithful to the leadership team, but in return for that, we had to ask them to be able to do whatever we needed them to do. So today it's me, our kitchen manager, Bailey, our GM is server, phone answerer, cash register boy, barista, retail. This one thing I have to be honest about. Over the 12 years of D-Bar, I've always considered the to-go area to be too many moving parts and overly complicated. There's a lot of awesome offerings here, and it's fun, but it's hard to run. But with the advent of COVID, I was grateful that there was a part of D-Bar that people knew about that was to-go. They know to come to the to-go door. They were used to taking some things away. And so I hate to say all the, stereotypes of new phrases that we say this year, but we pivoted to, okay, we're not too fancy to do our food to go. We're going to do all of our food to go. So it's a limited menu that we're serving. But we do the whole thing to go. We deliver like everybody because we have to. Mm-hmm. And then after that, probably you start to look at, well, here's all the things that we do. In our pastry case, if you know D-Bar, it'll be pretty familiar to you. A lot of classic European desserts, French macarons and handmade chocolates and such. A lot of American things. All holiday themed at the moment, of course, cookies and Dunkaroos and cupcakes and all those sorts of things. So cocktails to go has been a big help, actually. That's one thing I'm grateful for the city, and they extended that till next summer. So we try our best to make sure that we include that whenever we do to-go sales. And then I think what's getting us through the holiday is, I probably should have shown it to you over there, but we can open up
Let's
some
go
of those.
Look at them.
Yeah, we can open up some of the boxes and see, but we are doing a bunch of holiday-themed snack boxes, kind of build-at-home cookie kits and treat kits and showpiece kits. So, for example, this is a holiday treat kit. So there's Mexican wedding cookies inside of there, Austrian Linzer cookies, there's peppermint bark, there's Santa cake pops, there's gingerbread men, There's shortbread cookies. There's toffee caramel. So all things that we make in house, of course. This is an example of a built cookie cake kit, Christmas tree kit. So we give you all the cookies to make that, and then we give you all the fun stuff to decorate it. You can kind of build it at home, and it's been popular. People have been posting and tagging us when they get to do that project at home. And on a snow day like today, it's a good opportunity. This is a Christmas cookie decorating kit. So snowflakes, candy canes, gingerbread men, trees. We give a little piece of paper with it where we give suggestions of what you can do, but obviously at the end of the day, it's just meant to
have fun.
Take some fun home, have a little fun with the family. I always preach the family piece. This year, though, it's interesting how, if we're doing it right, it really shouldn't be anything beyond the family, right? It should be small, and there's something nice about that. So we're just trying to, I hope, enhance that. We're doing Christmas dinners this year. We've never done that. We've always done Thanksgiving, and we've always done a big bash for Valentine's. But we're doing Christmas dinners, your choice of turkey or prime rib, and a bunch of seasonal sides. And you have your choice to either get it for Christmas or get it for New Year's Eve or do one for the other. We did a couple of hundred Thanksgiving dinners, so we're hoping to get close to that number for Christmas.
Yeah.
And, let's say at the end of the day, people are, I don't think the message of restaurants struggling is really in the media.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's a mainstream message like it should be, considering our industry is the largest employer group in the country. But Denver's a foodie town. An organization that's really supported us all along the way. The two for me, it's Colorado Restaurant Association, just keeping us up to date on what we can and can't do, and Visit Denver trying to give us opportunity. Because for years now, they've celebrated Denver and kind of tried to sell Denver to the world based on all the foodies that are in Denver, and that started to happen, right? Top Chef got filmed here, and they made a commitment, and it's working out. They added an extra restaurant week, which was awesome for us. Mm-hmm. First time we ever did restaurant week to go. But people that
What did you think about having the rug pulled out halfway through with no notice?
That was pretty foolish.
Yeah.
I mean, the second weekend,
mm-hmm.
they're going to go from a 25% occupancy during restaurant week to no dining room
mm-hmm.
with Friday and Saturday left.
Mm-hmm.
What's
the reality of what that does to a business?
That's $40,000 for us.
Yeah.
2 days, that's two $20,000 days.
Mm-hmm.
That could have been the payroll for next week.
Yeah.
So when you plan on that, when you have already ordered that product, I try not to complain. I try to be grateful for what we do get out of it all. But they could have waited 2 days.
Yes, they could have.
Instead of just had a random-ass press conference
mm-hmm.
and said, hey, I think this is what we're going to do. Check back with us on Friday.
Yeah.
Well, since you're busy, why don't you check back on Monday and let us get through restaurant week, which was your idea.
Yeah.
And we're trying to support that idea. So that's about the most bitter part of the pill for me that I've had so far, where we're trying to play ball and then you do kind of pull the rug out.
Yeah. I look at it like Charlie Brown and Lucy pulling that ball out every time he goes up to kick.
Yeah, but hey, it is what it is. I do want people to be safe, but that could have been handled in a better way. Well, it could have been communicated better.
Let's talk about safety. And again, here with the recognizable face, but wearing a mask. Chef Keegan Gerhardt here with us. We're at D-Bar. We're in his home turf, and with a baggie of his native soil here with us. And we look around and you hear all of those words since the beginning of the pandemic. You hear about pivot and adjustment, and you've done so much of it. But what a resilient industry. I mean, truly, as we're seeing the attrition just take place everywhere and people trying to hang on with no relief in sight from the bureaucrats and the politicians. And I think we're all just exhausted and saying, okay, what can we do internally or within our community, and that outreach, and chances are you're still giving back to the community.
I mean, we want to,
100%. Right? Well, yeah, and it's that community obligation and the servitude that you have and the people here, but it's all hands on deck. You've already said
it is that. And listen, our focus, I guess, is, well, this didn't just happen for all of us, right? We've had 10 months, 8 months, 9 months, somewhere in there, to consider, and it has forced us to consider what is important to us. And early on, we decided that this wasn't the thing that was going to be what shut us down. At least that's not what we want. I'm not saying we're completely in charge of that. It's not all up to us, but we feel like we have more things to do for the city of Denver and the uptown neighborhood. We have more people we want to serve. We have more things we think we can achieve in Denver for both the good of Denver and for us. So I want to be around. And then you have to really look at, so what does that mean?
Walk backwards, right? I want to be around. Now what's it going to take?
Now what? What can I not afford?
Well, so I was going to ask that. I mean, obviously, we all want to look towards post-pandemic, and you've implemented a lot of things that you thought, I'll never do those things.
I'll never deliver my
What's going to stick? What's going to stay around? Because I would love to believe that that's going to be an added increase in revenue once it's all said and done.
I think the to-go piece will stick around if you're doing it well. And I think I've ordered some, like I guess everybody probably has, and I really order less to eat, more to see how it's done. I do believe, and I'm not saying we're doing it great, but I do believe there's an opportunity for hospitality even in the to-go meal. And if you're just bitter and not embracing that to-go meal as an opportunity to show a slice of your restaurant's hospitality, then I think you're missing the whole point. So we really thought long and hard about that, about how can this feel like D-Bar still, which is why we're doing our own delivery and not using a third-person service. Or, although a lot of it we can just walk to people, right? But that was also a way to employ some of our staff that we had to lay off. Speaking of things you thought you'd never have to do, I never imagined I would have to lay off my team twice in 1 year, just beyond my comprehension. So,
I mean, saddens you to the core.
Yeah.
This is a people business.
To look them in the eye and say, hey, I want you back, I love you, but sorry, no job again, is just, is there this, is there that? I don't know. I don't see any more support. I don't know, just good old-fashioned unemployment, Some people take it as a positive and they can spend time with their families. Some people can't afford to go spend time with their families. And their families can't afford to come see them. And with no dining room, we can't even host a family Christmas dinner or a family Thanksgiving dinner because there's no dining room. So that's a bitter pill to swallow. It's there's very few opportunities to share our passion for food and hospitality
and connect with the guest.
Yeah, but
there's always that but, and that's you have to do that. You have to go, well, here's the other side.
I think you got it.
Yeah.
All these boxes represent, people who have decided to allow us to be a little part of their holiday celebration, and I'm super grateful for that. And I just want to try to figure out more ways to do that.
So this is going to be the toughest question I ask you, and then we're going to go have fun in the kitchen. This is
okay.
going to be the toughest question I ask you the whole time. Where are the voices? Where are the leaders in the industry that want to change that narrative to the Main Street, the 4s, the 7s, the 9s, the 31s, the Kyle Clarks that say, listen, Sam's number 3 today, downtown.
Yeah.
Shut down because of airflow ventilation. Said the city didn't even work with them for the adjustments. Dana Rodriguez, working class. Rhino's a ghost town. She has a patio by all intents and purposes. You can open up the windows. The airflow's great. It's disallowed. There's no humanistic level to what's going on right now in a world to where everything's uncertain. If you go to a Home Depot, if you go on an airplane, it's nuts to butts. You've got people packed into other locations, and yet you see small businesses and restaurants everywhere shriveling up. Where are the voices in the community getting that concern out?
It's a good question. Listen, I think the number one organization for me and the face that I see behind it, at least locally, is the independent restaurant group that was started during COVID and kind of led here by Bobby Stuckey. They're doing it right. They're really trying to play the game of politics and get in front of the House and Senate and all of the states, have local representatives, and really try to do it properly. So it's something that's on the docket and actually voted on. But beyond that, I mean,
I'm not. Is it a wait for the money thing? Is it a wait? It's going to come.
What money? I don't think so.
We can't do deficit spending here in Colorado. Little teeny bits they break off to seem like they're active, but then it's like, on a federal level, is it just let's wait to see if we're taken care of?
I just think this is a perfect example of how desperately people need to be led.
Yeah.
There's been no leadership and no direction from the federal government, and I'm not talking politics. I'm just talking about fundamental reality. It doesn't matter who the president is. But the president and his staff at this time decided not to give anybody any direction about anything. And in fact, if anything, conflicting messages. So it's not a surprise to me that None of the states are on the same page. Within a state, none of the counties are on the same page. But if somebody had laid out a plan of attack and said, here's how we're going to do it, and this is what makes sense, and let us know what you think, but there was never that dialogue.
Is that a lack of representation from the? Is the overall larger picture of the restaurant industry? Is there like we need to have that concerted voice? Did we learn something? Are we learning something? Are our pants down?
I think we're learning lots of things. I don't think any of them are very pleasant. I think some of them are things we already knew, but we didn't understand the reality. I think most of us that are independent restaurant owners understand how fragile the business model is, and how unrealistic and unfair. So to work to sell $2.5–3 million in net revenue and bring 5 to 6% of the bottom line on that, who else would do that?
Yeah.
All the while not having paid back any of your original starting loans and still constantly giving 8 to 10% in charity every year.
Yep.
It's just, there is no other business model like that.
Has the ripple effect, is it done? Or, I mean,
the ripple effect's not done.
No, we haven't seen it.
Winter hasn't started.
We haven't seen it. Personal guarantees now through leases. It's getting interesting, and I don't think the water's found its own level.
This is a fall snow. This isn't even a winter snow.
Yeah.
You know, winter hasn't happened. I hate to say it, but more restaurants will close. Some because they just don't want to do it anymore. Some because they have no choice. Talking about, and timing is everything.
Yeah.
I mean, remarkably, there are restaurants opening during this pandemic.
And they're in a burn rate, though.
I just say, God bless them.
Yeah, well, I do.
If they believe in their plan, then God bless them.
Sure.
Talking about bad timing, our next door neighbor here at One City Block, City Row, so Row Gym, literally the day they opened was the day before they shut the city down in March.
Oh God, 16th of March.
So they're not open right now. No surprise, right? It's I don't know.
I mean, I don't take this the wrong way. I think less of like businesses like you have a voice, you have a contingency of people that will follow you, a great newsletter, great social media presence. I think of that business on Havana that doesn't have a parking lot or a tent perspective or.
I don't know. It's heartbreaking. I don't know what else to say. Listen, we've been selfish. We've kept our world really small. This is the longest I've ever gone in my life without traveling. I think I've made 2 trips in the last 10 months, and I was very skeptical about those. We've kept our world very small. What can we do to be better at what we do? Can you do me a favor? There's my speed rack by my station. I need that little half sheet rack of cookies, please.
We're about to get down in the kitchen.
We just have to. I hate to say this. It's not like I don't care. There's a lot of people with way brighter ideas than us, but this is, if ever there was. And I'm not talking about community and relationship.
It's internal triage.
Assumed community and relationship. Assume it.
Yeah.
Right? We have one of the greatest restaurant networks, I think, in Denver in the country. Having said that, no one's going to help save D-Bar but D-Bar.
Right.
And if we don't, like you said, I don't know if we have a good voice, but if we don't get the message out there and be useful to people, I mean, people are so generous. Sometimes they'll buy something like this, and we worry that we charge too much. And they'll tip as much as they paid for it because they understand the need. But
it's just the resource thing. And as I see the gap widening from bigger business to small business, and people are habit driven. If you take people out of their habits and they form new habits, it's going to be hard to go back.
Very hard.
So I look at the Happy Campers and the Bull and Bush bought a $70,000 outdoor tent that's an indoor outdoor, and people are able to go and God bless them, right? I mean, they're figuring out their business. View House, same thing, but it's taking away their habits from what they generally and usually do, and it's just like, how do we? Oh, it's so frustrating, Chef.
I think listening to the guests is maybe one of the easiest to overlook elements of being successful right now. People
are going out.
It's hard on them.
People are going out.
It's hard on them and hard on us, right? But it's hard on them. They've been locked up.
Yeah.
Last night we did a training and a staff event downtown, and I got to see the Union train station, and it was snowing. It was bitter cold. Venice Restaurante had people on their patio because they can sit there and they can look at the film on the train station. So those people are taking advantage of what they have, right? And more, I see that. Only you know what your guests want, or you should know better than anyone else. You either choose to provide them something useful or you choose to fail, pretty much. Mm-hmm. And even the best efforts may not be enough. That they really may not be enough, and I'm hoping that they are because we have more we want to do. But
desperation's an interesting thing, though, and I'm saying
it is.
And I've been saying it from the beginning. When restaurants and bars are outlawed, restaurant and bar owners will become outlaws. And the people want to do the right thing. They want people safe. They want to follow by the rules. But when it comes down to when you're looking some of your employees in the eyes and you know they're going to be destitute and they count on you, I'm seeing people that are putting crepe paper on their windows and saying, come in for pickup, but you can sit down and I'll serve you some drinks too. And it's happening, and it's tough to see, and speakeasies are popping up and people are still gathering.
I mean, this is almost like the restaurant food equivalent of prohibition.
Yeah.
It kind of is. We haven't done anything like that yet, but we've pretty blessed on some of the things.
Too much to lose.
Maybe I don't know. But listen, we went pretty desperately to our landlord and said, hey, we have a business plan. It's really simple. 5% occupancy cost is what we have in the plan. We can't do it at 12.
Yeah.
Work with us or we're gone.
Yeah, but those dudes have
They've
notes
worked
to pay
with us.
too.
What's that?
Those dudes have no.
Hey, listen, if there's an industry that's worse off than us, it's probably commercial real estate.
Sure.
Who's going to put people in an office building again?
Absolutely.
When everybody apparently can work from home.
But they'll probably come back to you and they say, okay, chef, I understand, but we're going to take that and we're going to, what you owe me, and we're going to prorate it in the next couple of years, and we're going to dip into your prospective profits, 2 years
They're
down.
They're going to get their money back.
Yeah.
One way or another, right?
Yeah.
Everybody's going to be working from home, and you guys are probably going to have the whole floor of the Wells Fargo building.
It's something else, isn't it?
Because who else is going to be in there?
No.
Oddly, I do think for us, though, and this is a terrible pessimistic thing to say, but I think it's the truth. If that industry is in that kind of hardship and you are able to make it through this, there is going to be some real opportunity as far as growth goes, because the overhead's going to be less, And so my goal is to be around to hopefully be able to benefit from some of that opportunity.
Yeah. What do you think the climb back up for the business, the restaurant industry itself will be to get back to?
Oh, my goodness.
Years? 5?
Not
10?
next year. Yeah.
Not next year.
I mean, we're going to start back, I guess. Everybody thinks that the vaccine is the answer to all of our prayers, right? But it's not going to all happen at once.
No.
People are already afraid of the vaccine.
Sure.
There's going to be some things that go wrong. There's going to be, everybody's not going to suddenly start going out again. And if they do, I'm nervous that the rules won't make sense like they don't make sense now.
Will hospitality be hospitality again?
I think hospitality is going to be more important than ever.
Yeah.
There's going out to eat and there's having a dining experience.
Yeah.
And I've always trying to shoot for a dining experience, not just a meal.
Yeah. QR codes. I mean.
Oh yeah. Hey, listen. There's a couple of industries that made some money. The people that are selling rubber gloves right now.
Yeah. I love a menu though, chef.
Oh, I love a menu, but
I love to open up.
It's got your cooties on it. QR codes, that's sanitizer. You know what we're paying for a case of extra large gloves right now?
Over $150.
Yeah, over $150.
Yeah.
So
ridiculous.
That seems like highway robbery. Speaking of things that should be controlled, that's just dirt. That's just dirty pool.
What are we gonna do? Make some cookies or head?
Yeah.
You brought some cookies out. Oh, you want to take? Okay, let's do this. We'll break. Hear from some great local sponsors. These are guys that, boy, keep this programming on the air, and we're gonna break off. Come back to D-Bar Denver. This is a great catching up with Keegan.
Some B-roll
showing
of cookies.
So, all right, we'll break away. We'll come back 2.5-3 minutes. We'll be back to D-Bar Denver right here. The Modern Eater Show continues.
Hey, you guys, Jay here with the Modern Eater Show. Thanks for watching. Don't forget about our YouTube and Instagram channels. A lot of killer content over there. Throw us a subscribe on YouTube. Throw us a follow on Instagram. And thank you for supporting TME. We couldn't do this without our amazing sponsors, so let's check them out right now.
Very proud to be part of the Modern Eater, and chefs, restaurant owners, any food service operators. I know right now that delivery and carry out is bigger than ever, and we got you covered. Cambro has a full line of delivery and carry out items. More economical options are expanded polypropylene or EPP, nice insulated container. The ProCard Ultra is really versatile. It's a great unit because you could actually store cold products down here, hot products up here. It's all 120. There's no refrigeration worries. It's all thermodynamics. Just let us know what your food service challenges are, what it is we can do to help you out, and there isn't anything that we can't do for you. So hope to see you over here at our facility in Park Hill soon, and stay safe out there.
Everybody, with several $1 million of hard assets here, Insurance is very, very important to us. Ewing Levitt covers it all. Machinery, building, workman's comp. Ewing Levitt's got us covered from the floor to the ceiling, from our alley, even to the street. This divider, this press, my cooling conveyor, my oven. Ow, ow. Ewing Levitt covers our counter stacker and our employees too. If you need insurance, take it from Little Rich at Raquelitas. Call Ewing Levitt, they'll get you covered.
I go home, I strip down to my skivvies. All right, here we go. I got it. Hey everybody, Steve Gould from Golden Moon Distillery and Golden Moon Speakeasy. When I get my cocktails to go from Golden Moon Speakeasy, I go home, I kick back, and I watch The Modern Eater. Skivvies. Hey, I'm a Marine. It's skivvies, man.
Hey. What's going on, everybody? This is Brother Luck from Lucky Dumpling, 4x Brother Luck in Colorado Springs, and I am rocking with The Modern Eater. You're watching them, you're tasting them, you're knowing everything there is to know about Colorado.
Hi, Charlie from Brews Beers here. Our new Belgian Abbey 4-pack is a mixed package of the 4 core beers made in Abbey and Trappist breweries in Belgium. So we have a single, a double, a triple, and a quadruple in one package. Now, quadruples are the emperors of Belgian monastery ales. They're dark in color, with a dense tan head, and alcohol ranging from 8 to 12%, so they're pretty strong. Quadruples are very rich and complex with big maltiness, spice, and flavors of raisins, cherries, and plums. Alcohol is apparent in the mouthfeel, but not overwhelming, even at 10.5% ABV. So the finish is long, complex, and dry, and they're great beers anytime, by themselves or with hearty foods. Pick up your Abbey 4-pack at either Brews location, 67th and Pecos, or at Colfax in York, and at fine liquor stores throughout the Denver metro area. Take home some Belgian-style badassery today.
Welcome to Tommyknocker Brewery here in beautiful Idaho Springs. We brew normally twice a day. Currently brew about 18 different beers. And right here's our brew kettle, steam-fired brew kettle, and we generate our steam with natural gas. We get our natural gas from Encore Energy and Brian Rizzuto. I really like working with Brian because he explains how the system works of getting your natural gas. It's not a mystery. I actually understand our energy bill.
You're watching The Modern Eater, and now back to the show.
Okay, back to D-Bar right here on Pennsylvania and 19th Avenue. One of my favorite places to be in Denver, and we're catching up with Keegan, Chef Keegan Gerhardt. And before we do that, I want to tell you about Jeff Rourke and A Plus Beverage Solutions, another great Colorado business, family-owned and operated, been in for 20 years, making sure you're drinking delicious beer poured for those faucets. You've used Jeff Rourke, haven't you?
Oh, they're the best. Are you kidding me? I'm so afraid of the whole draft beer line thing, but
don't mess with it. Let the professional.
No, seriously, I wouldn't even know what to do. That guy rolls in here, doesn't say a word, makes it happen. I'm so grateful for them.
It's just one less thing you need to worry about. And
exactly.
There will be in-house dining again at some point, and the bar will be full by. I know it seems like a dream, but you got to be ready, and especially every cent counts right now. I'm wondering if you remember. I didn't even prep you for it. If you're pouring inefficient beer, boys, what are you doing?
Pouring your money down the drain.
You're pouring your money down the drain. Don't pour your money down the drain. Just get a hold of Jeff Rourke and A Plus Beverage Solutions, 720-272-3809. I have it memorized, Jeff. You have to, because if you need them, you know why. 720-272-3809. It's Jeff Rourke and A-Plus Beverage Solutions. Yes, speaking about that, community and sticking together. I know that you like to work with a lot of local folks. And
we do.
Who were you saying, Altera and what Chef Swan?
Altamira. Yeah, and a couple of different organizations got together, and they're making like food boxes for restaurant staff that may not have enough money for food, and helping to feed them. What Chefs Want, taking samples around everywhere. I mean, I'm super excited about that personally, and a lot of that kind of pivoting from Tonali's is another one. Tonali's Meats, I love supporting local, and I love that local people are taking care of one another,
I do too. I think that that's really another thing as we look for those, those silver linings, is I think local's getting stronger than ever right
Exactly.
now. Just that local thought process. All right, I'm not doing any of these cookies because I'm just so good at it.
Yes, you are.
I really am actually pretty good at this type
No,
of
you're
thing.
not.
Yes,
Let's be honest.
You talk about just decorating cookies and guidelines. There's really no wrong or right, but
Isn't there?
I mean, is there?
I decorate trees upside down.
Why?
Because I like this look right here. So, real easy. You do 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1. Then you just put a little decoration on it. We can go slower. 4.
Oh, that looks good.
1, 2. Oh, that one may only hold 3.
All right.
We're going to have to cheat on that one. Sometimes it goes bad.
You do 1 million of these things, you got to get your stroke down, right?
Hey, if you can't pipe cookies during the holidays as a pastry chef, you're in serious trouble. Sprinkles. Sprinkles are the difference. Sprinkles are for winners, though, so we have to check IDs when we sell these. Not a winner, you don't get the cookie.
Oh, and it tastes delicious. I mean, that's just sugar, right? I mean,
this is love. There's a big difference.
Love.
Sugar with love. Come on.
What else can you put on? I mean, you can put anything under the sun on there, but
there's a little bit of flavor in the cookie itself. It's really just a shortbread cookie with some almond flavor and vanilla flavor. But I like kind of mixing. Everybody usually does royal icing cookies. I kind of like the frosting cookie better. And really, Bailey, my wife Bailey's the one we have to thank for that, because she's the cookie genius. It's not so much me. And
what has Bailey been up to? Just she's back there like a mad woman.
She's the one that came up with all these ideas of the decorating kits, the date night kit. I've been working on a signature. I call it the Rudolph. It's a red-tipped condom for date night.
Wait, say that again?
No,
Did I hear what I thought I heard?
I'm not going to say that again. Date night with drinks, booze, snacks, and everything that you need to Netflix and chill. Come on, man. You got to pivot.
You do have to pivot. Back to the condom, though. Did I hear that correctly?
Well, I called it the Rudolph. You said that word.
One of the problems that I have
spoil the surprise. We just asked, would you like to include the Rudolph?
Oh, well, it's like a secret code word.
And then it's up to them, right?
So really, if somebody comes in and asks for the Rudolph, there's such thing that they'll get.
When we start doing date night kits, yes, there will be.
Oh, you better look out for those date night kits.
Right?
I'm on it. But Jay, what would you do with your date night kit, man? Would you have anybody to share it with?
I think Jay ordered 2 just for himself.
Speaking of that, Jay and I, when we were...
I don't know if you understand completely just how much Santa's hat is supposed to sparkle. But sparkle's the magic.
I have a tendency of putting too much on. You got to know when to say when, right?
Well, at the end of making a whole bunch of these, then you have one really ugly cookie.
You eat it.
And you put all this stuff, like the kitchen sink sandwich, on the ugly cookie. Then when people have the audacity to ask you for free food during, do you have anything free?
Yeah, here it is.
You give them the ugly cookie with all the sprinkles.
I'll take the ugly cookie any day of the week.
That's right.
Tastes the same.
Tastes the same. I don't know if you can put too much sprinkles. I got to be honest. I am kind of a hold back kind of guy, but sprinkles, man, that's different.
So when we were setting up in here earlier, Chef Jay points at a booth over there and he goes, I had a first date right there. It was one of the best nights
You
of my
did?
life. Yeah. Well, he said you came out and said hello too, and he felt important, and
That was the difference?
yeah, that was it. I mean, that's what you get. That's what restaurants do for us.
Yeah,
You'll never have
Chef,
a night
I'm
like
just
that
I'm
again.
just devastated that you don't remember. It was.
I
about-
remember.
It's about
It was
4 years
life-changing
ago.
for me. I do remember.
But how many people have come to you and said, I had my first date here, now I'm married, and I actually have kids?
Hey, listen. This is pretty cheesy, but the most amazing thing to me is when we really become part of a family's story. And so what you said is very true. There's a lot of couples. It's kind of amazing, kind of humbling, really, to me. Like, first date, awesome. It works out. They get engaged. We do that. They're going to get married. We do their wedding cake. They have kids. We do gender reveal. They have kids. We do their birthday cakes. I mean, that is like truly part of, and it happens every single week. I'm walking around, remember me? You did our wedding. We had a first date here. I mean, that is so cool to me. And when we first opened D-Bar, I hoped to be a part of a neighborhood like that. You know, I always used to have a dream about a D-Bar t-shirt that we didn't have. We didn't even have the logo yet. But on the back of it, it said D-Bar Lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought to myself, like, could D-Bar ever be a thing that we were so connected to you that your week wasn't complete unless you had whatever D-Bar is to you. Thursday night, date night.
Gave me the pimples.
You know what I mean? Something like that.
Yeah.
Like, could we ever be that? And that's,
Now, I remember the old school D-Bar.
yeah,
Yeah. I
Were
mean, kind of a small little...
very kind of small.
Yeah.
We know how to do small, if nothing else.
Yeah. What were
28
they like?
seats.
28 seats.
Yeah. So, you know, with 28 seats,
Now, all growth really is on hold right now, right? Or no?
I guess so. I mean, I know people are. We got friends and colleagues that are doing a little growing. Chook is about to open up another location, but their model is pretty strongly based on to go as it is, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So I think it makes a little more sense for them. But one thing I'm pretty excited about, a pretty new thing for D-Bar. I think you were even in here once, and I had plans written out. And
I was. I tried to get you to tell me.
I wouldn't say.
You wouldn't say anything.
But we worked. We were kind of considered by.
That's beautiful.
We were kind of considered by a group of people, Mission Yogurt, that does a bunch of the restaurants at the airport. Like they do Root Down and Timberline and the Einstein Bagels, lots of stuff like that. And so we went in with a group of people and to try to bid on a space in the airport and won that. So it'll be a minute, right? We'll have to get past this pandemic before they move forward. But it'll be us with a couple of other really cool kind of iconic Denver places. This really cool Jewish deli, Takabe, the Osage Indian comfort food.
Yeah.
Williams and Graham will all be in one little cool space right there in Terminal A. So that's kind of far enough down the road that it doesn't scare me.
Sure.
We've got time to get ready for it, and we got time to get past this for it. But
Something to look forward to, too.
yeah, that way you can, if you're traveling, you can take D-Bar with you.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. That's fantastic. Next chapter, catching up with Keegan.
We did this backwards.
What do you mean?
We
Why-
finished some cookies, but we didn't show you how to make the cookie. You want to just go make?
Can we go do that? I would love
Yeah, you
to
just
do
want
that.
to make a
Yeah.
shitload of cookie dough.
Yeah, let's make some cookie dough. Okay.
Oh, is your wrist sore from that big camera, Jay?
Hey, that means break. That means take a break.
Oh.
You know, Jay Parker behind.
You have the iPhone Max. Is that why your wrist is sore?
No, I got that new iPhone though, man. Oh, this is
I've never seen a cameraman holding an iPhone act like they were sore. Never.
never.
Man, those signals, Chef. Those are
Oh, I see.
radio people's signals from our radio day.
I see what you're saying.
Taking a break.
Yeah,
you only have one
I
hand,
have
though.
one hand, so it's.
That didn't look like a break.
Oh, we'll do that. Bring us to break. We'll come back. Set us up.
We'll come back and make a whole bunch of cookies. We're going to go back, get in front of the 60-quart mixer, and see what we can do.
All right. We'll be back to D-Bar. I love the laugh.
You ready?
Like right now?
Yeah.
Hey, everybody, it's Kyle Mendenhall. I'm talking with my good friends from the Modern Eaters Show. Keep supporting them. There's a lot of good stuff happening.
We started Meridium Spirits because we love the way that spirits and cocktails can bring people together to socialize, to bond, to have conversations. Well, right now we've got some big conversations to have. Coop Vodka and Coop Gin are available at liquor stores across the metro area, but if you can't find us or would like to have us behind your bar or at your restaurant, send us an email, info@meridiumspirits.com. We know things are a little different these days, but think of us the next time you're planning a virtual happy hour or a socially distant picnic. And keep an eye on our social media, Coop by Meridium, for all the latest and greatest.
Hey guys, it's Caroline Glover. I'm the chef owner of Annette out at Stanley Marketplace. Citrus is about to be in its prime. I just want to thank everybody for showing so much support to small local restaurants in this really hard time. And you're watching the Modern Eater Show. I'm fine with that.
Hi, I'm Amber with Strohauer Farms, and I'm just here to remind you that the best potatoes are grown here in Colorado. Goodness elevated. Thanks for watching the Modern Eater Show.
Hey, Zach Ryder here, Colorado Mills Sunflower Products out of Lamar, Colorado. Your only local source, grown from a local crop to produce a local oil for local chefs. You can find it at Shamrock Foods, What Chefs Want, Seattle Fish Company. Let me try it one more time, then we'll see. Hey, restaurants, we're glad you're reopening. From Colorado Mills Sunflower Oil, we'll see you soon.
First, we partner with the best farmers in the world, and then we tell them, we will take it all. Process whole spices daily, blend custom spices to order, keep it fresh, safe, and flavorful, all so that you can get back to doing what you do best. So whether you're a restaurant, a food manufacturer, or an at-home cook, be sure to visit The Spice Guy at www.thespiceguyco.com.
Hey Modern Eater fans, I'm Don Trobo with The Annex by Ardent Mills, and I just wanted to give you a heads up about some of the great things we've got going on locally in the state. We're headquartered right here, and we're working with farmers in the San Luis Valley to bring you amazing Colorado quinoa. It's just like the South American stuff, but grown locally. We've got transitional wheat flour that's grown by farmers in Colorado and surrounding states who are in the process of turning their fields into organic. So we're taking that transitional wheat and turning it into flour, and now it's available for you to cook and bake with. And last but not least, we're now cleaning grain berries in Denver. So things like spelt or wheat berries or pearl barley, those are things that we're now doing right here locally and are available to you. Can't wait to share it with you.
Hi, I'm Jeff Nations from Aspen Baking Company. It's really important right now to support local. That's why I support the Modern Eater. Now, back to the show.
Okay, back to, I thought you were going to take it, Jay. We're going to talk about another great Colorado company. And just as we were going to talk about it, Keegan goes, you know what? I use Aspen Baking Company for a sandwich.
We do indeed. Like, I love their sourdough. And I never met Jeff, actually. I feel like we're doing it wrong. Because, Jay, you keep your bread on your waistline. I think he had his up around the nipples, didn't
he? Yes, he did.
He was holding them up here.
He was holding it up.
I never met Jeff, but listen, this is just a no-brainer. Local, delicious. And we're trying to watch the dollars, watch the spend.
Sure.
And it's a quality product. You can get it at Restaurant Depot, so it's easy for us. You don't have to deal with a new account. It made total sense. So
Aspen Baking Company, another great local Colorado brand, and coming from somebody who's no stranger to baking.
Yeah,
that's for sure. An Aspen Baking Company. So we're in the kitchen now with Chef Keegan Gerhardt.
How's that music? Too loud?
I think we're fine. How's this?
Okay.
Is it good?
I thought we would make a whole bunch of cookie dough. What do you think? Because we need it.
Good.
We showed you all those kits, so this is kind of where it starts. This is a 48-pound batch of shortbread cookie dough. So that's half the butter in there. With this big of a batch, you can't really do a straight mix like you would in a little bitty one, where you just put it all in the bowl. You kind of have to go half of the fat, half the dry. So this is flour.
Just because it'll seize up, or?
It just, some of it it'll either be dry on the bottom or it'll all be buttery on the bottom.
Gotcha.
And then some cookies will not spread and some cookies will spread too much, right? So we're going to go kind of halvesies. This is all powdered sugar. The recipe doesn't actually call for that. We just did it because of the holidays. That's not true. It calls for all of it. Halvesies. The rest of the butter. So 20 pounds of butter. is enough for 48 pounds of cookie dough. And I think our cookies probably are about 2 ounces of dough
I was
per.
trying to do the math. I'll let you.
Yeah, so we'll make this again, I'm sure, the next several times again in the next couple of days.
Wow. Holy cow. That's some cookies.
So then we're going to go another dry. You're
layering it. Yep.
Very little wet, but there is a little wet, which is vanilla and almond flavor. Just because it's wintertime, those are the flavors we like in the winter, or fall, I should say. We're going to kind of pour that in the middle so we don't lose too much on the edge of the bowl. One more batch of dry. And then the tricky part
is
trying to mix this without it all.
Yeah, that's
out.
what I was going to say. All right.
I know you like paddles, Greg.
What's the head on this thing?
So that's the paddle, just like on
It
on
looks
a
like a
KitchenAid,
saint,
right?
you know?
But bigger. Yeah, so this is for a 60-quart bowl?
Well, so, I mean, obviously, novice here, and I'll ask dumb questions, but
please,
why that one instead of like one of these mixing ones up top?
So the ones that look like a whisk, like you'd hold in your hand, but bigger, those are for putting air inside.
Gotcha.
Right? So let's get this on first.
I mean, that is a machine right there. And you got 2 of those back to back.
So this one will do 40 and 60. These aren't really, really big, but pretty big for a kitchen, like a restaurant kitchen. A 60 and a 40 liter and over there a 10 and a 20 liter. Went a little too high, eh? Carried away with myself.
And just clips right in there and you spin it.
Arguably, right? We'll see how. When you put that much butter in the bottom, it's not easy. Probably the hardest part of the whole recipe. It does go on just like a KitchenAid, though.
What are some lessons you've learned the hard way with this?
What have I learned?
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure you...
Maybe don't put 10 pounds of butter on the bottom first.
Up and click. There it is.
There we go. So get it on there. Clip it down. Doesn't want to play ball, does it? There we go. Now we're talking. Fortunately, these machines don't work unless you have the cage closed.
All right, let's see.
It's not very exciting because you got to go really slow.
You go fire in the hole, or what do you do?
You just got to go on and off, on and off.
Okay.
Until you get the fat starting to go in there. Should we just hit Jay once?
Yes.
I don't know if it's going to be you or Jay.
Oh yeah, you could get us, couldn't you?
Almost got you. But we don't want to waste product.
No.
So we're gonna be careful. So it's about 2 minutes of this really boring fast, slow. And it'll come together in a really smooth paste.
Uh-huh.
We chill it, we break it down into 2-pound packages that look just like what Whitney's working on over there.
Gotcha, okay.
And then she's got little roller guides on a rolling pin. So that's going to help her be able to roll all the cookies almost exactly the same thickness.
Oh my God.
And then she can cut them out into whatever she needs. Right now she's working on that Christmas tree kit, right? You see all the stars? So we give them 16 cookies, 2 of each size.
Gotcha.
And then they're able to build that Christmas tree that we showed you out on the dessert bar.
Yeah. Your forearms must be off the hook.
Yeah.
That's not easy.
She's fit.
And you'd think that there's an easier way to do that, but no, right?
Fitney Whitney. There are machines that do it, but there's really not room in here. They're called sheeters.
Uh-huh.
And with the dough that soft, sometimes they're hard to work with. And we don't quite have the space for a sheeter in here. And it's almost just enough. Usually it's not enough to warrant a sheeter, but during the holidays, you wish you had it in here all day, you know?
You're cranking. So this time of year is really, you're cranking out a lot of this same product, though, right?
I mean, this from Thanksgiving on, it's kind of all the holiday stuff, right?
Sure.
So, pies, we did.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, what are your capabilities in here? What are you busting out? And can you do custom orders? And
We do custom cakes. I think the best place to see what we do, and COVID has really pushed us to have pictures of all the items.
Online.
So online at dbardenver.com, you can see everything from custom wedding cakes. We have a signature cake line of we've kind of taken some of the building and guesswork out of it for you that you can kind of pick. Mini pastries, holiday treats, all of our to-go food, all of our booze. There's tons of stuff on there. All the kits that we were talking about ordering. The Christmas dinner we're talking about ordering. I think these days your website's got to be your marketplace. Otherwise, you're just missing the whole enchilada, I guess. Yeah.
What's on the Christmas dinner menu again this year?
We're doing some truffle mac, cream spinach. You have a choice of prime rib or turkey.
You're a prime rib guy. Please tell me you're a prime rib guy.
Oh, yeah, I'm a prime rib guy.
Good.
Yeah. Turkeys are for turkeys.
Thanksgiving. There's a place for turkeys. But
on social media, too, I think our team, mostly Bailey, actually, those are the lemon meringue tarts we do, that Bailey's making right now.
Can I see?
Yeah.
Bailey. Wow.
She made a couple of cakes for the Christmas dinners. One is a chocolate peppermint and one is a mocha almond.
They look so delicate.
And all those pictures are in our Instagram, which is just at DBar Denver.
Lovely. How are you, Bailey? Good to see you. Oh, man, I love it. So, again, you look around, and here we are at DBar Denver and Chef Keegan Gerhardt. Safer restaurants. The pros are at work right now getting stuff to go, and as the adjustments are made, you can go right through. And it's the door on 19th, right? You've got the door on 19th. You can walk into the bakery.
It is. Usually you could walk into the restaurant on Pennsylvania, and you walk into the bake shop on 19th, the bake shop coffee shop, but just the bake shop for now.
Mm-hmm.
We've got signs over there, and we'll direct you. And listen, I think if you have a mood for it, we probably have it.
Yeah.
Especially in the comfort food, realm.
Uh-huh.
Some really fun winter drinks, both warm and cold. Fun projects for a snowy day like today.
Yeah.
Which is why we're making so many kits.
All the way through soup to nuts. You got your dinner, you've got your dessert, you've got your drinks. They can take care of you all the way around. Ordering online too, right?
Yeah, it's super easy. Our Toast is our platform.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're able to order it on our website. It goes directly to our machine and prints out, just like if you were taking an order inside the restaurant.
Gotcha.
And that was really nice for our cooks. They're not having to differentiate their tickets. It's like it's in-house food, and we're trying to treat it that way. So we're doing lunch and dinner 5 days a week. Our brunches have been super popular on the weekends, so we went ahead and are doing that brunch menu all day. So there's an awesome green chili burrito on there. There's a build-your-own breakfast. There's a cool breakfast sandwich. There's a veggie scramble. And then all the D-Bar favorites from lunch and dinner, of course.
Fantastic. I noticed a bunch of heat lamps in your dining room. I'm sure they go outside on the patio. Are you doing anything outside on the patio?
We are. Listen, not on a snow day. We have,
people would come, I think, though. But no, you don't.
I don't want to take the. I don't know. I haven't wrapped my head around taking the food out in the snow yet.
Yep.
We have submitted to the city to have a seasonal enclosure. But it takes months. Everybody's trying to do that right now. But come springtime, and I think it'll be helpful next year in the spring and summer as well, because every single afternoon, as you know, in the summer it rains a little, and all 40 people on the patio want to come in and think they're going to have a seat inside.
Yes.
So that'll help us with all the weather.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
We start the show with Chef Keegan Gerhardt, and we'll do the exact same. I always love to hear from you when you talk. I listen.
Thanks for thinking of us.
End the show. Talk to the people. Tell them what's up and how, just give some encouragement. Give us on a positive note.
Well, listen, at the very beginning of this pandemic, I love the hashtag that was going around, which was "We Got This, Denver," and everybody seems to have fallen away from that. I believe in faith over fear. That's my primary philosophy for this. You have to have faith in what you're doing. You have to have faith in what's possible, and fear is the enemy. It makes everything more difficult. We're trying to put people at ease with our food. It's been something we've talked about at D-Bar since day one. Just a culinary sanctuary, right? And if we can't come into our sanctuary, then we're going to try to figure out a way to put our food into yours.
I love this guy. Appreciate your time today, D-Bar Denver. Come by and see these guys. It's the best of the best. This is how you support local. Safer at restaurants, business equality. Yes,
shop
sir.
slow, shop local. And Jay, after we're all done, if you want, I can help you with a massage in your wrist.
That's right.
Yeah.
Happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas. We'll see you down the road. On Monday, we'll be visiting with Chef Troy Gard. He's going to take us around one of his restaurants and talk to us about that, too. So
You're going to want to bring an apple box for that interview.
I think you're right.
All right.
Thank
I'll
you,
enjoy.
Chef Keegan Gard. We will continue the Modern Eater Show.